What's up, everybody? It's Al Torrey of Al Torrey Worldwide, and I want to make a video here to talk about a couple things. We always hear these, you know, common sense things about changing behaviors and creating new patterns, and it seems like it's common sense and it's stuff that we've all heard before. But I want to talk about particularly one item. It's just one thing, one single thing, and that is behavioral patterns. When I decided to regroup and transform my life once again in life, I changed a couple habits. And the idea behind changing a habit is that you go back and peel the onion and work your way back to the initial pattern that created that habit. And that's kind of like the idea behind this cognitive concept that I talk about. In other words, if I just say to myself, I'm not going to eat the brownie, then it doesn't mean that I'll stop eating that. It just means that I'll rewire my brain to think that doing that actually creates more of like a negative outcome. And that's the reason why it makes sense to do it. Otherwise, for me to just go ahead and go back to the same pattern, it's obviously the biggest downfall, because now I'm gonna go back to eating the brownie. I'm gonna feel like shit when I eat it, and then I'm gonna not want to feel good about it anyway. So I guess part of the idea of creating new habits comes down to making the decision to actually change. I mean, look, when I sat down with my mentor recently, we were talking about what are some of the things that have helped me create the life that I have today, and lifted all these thoughts in my life that are no longer there. And she said to me, it comes down to motivation. I was motivated and I made a decision to change the patterns. And then little bits of information and nuggets that she's given me over the years have transformed and literally changed my perspective on a lot of things. One of the things that I can tell you is that I think you guys can, some of you may relate to this or not. If how many of you guys out there have had an argument with someone? Okay, the one thing my mentors always taught me is, when you depersonalize anything, it automatically dissolves. In other words, if, let's say I had an argument with someone, with your spouse, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, and then I keep going and I just, quote, forget about it. But let's say I run into that same person at the supermarket or at the store a day later, and the first thought in my mind is that we're fighting. Immediately I'm gonna feel that same feeling I had when we argued. Whereas if I stop my thought right there before the thought initiates, and I just say, okay, there's the person, and there she is, instead of there's the person, that damn argument. You don't do that. Anytime you even entertain that thought, even slightly, immediately the thought turns into a feeling. And this actually takes practice, and this is one of the things that I teach the people that are in my mastermind group and the guys that are following me, is how do you convert these patterns into new behavioral patterns, and how do you erase the tape and come back from scratch and doing that. And that's one of the things that will make a difference for you guys. So I appreciate you guys watching. Have a good day. Out tour with Al Tour Worldwide brand.